on a Saturday morning in the fall, beautiful and at the height of weather and beauty and serenity. That property, I think, is in its most glorious stage, and to be there with our friends, learning how to be kinder to each other in our marriage, it's almost celestial to be there, really.
I think we attended the retreat because it's a great time to be able to spend one-on-one time with each other. Most of our day or week or everything's spent on our kids and our family and our callings, and so to be able to kind of get away from everything for a minute and away from cell phones and TV and the world and just really focus on each other, I think it's a valuable weekend.
And so when we're up here, there's just a great sacred feeling that's here. And so to be up here, just the two of us, in such a wonderful place that already means so much to us, and to be able to take these walks and in the various things that they're asking us to do. And there's a couple times where they asked us to just go out by ourselves and sit and talk. And I remember one time a couple years ago where the question was, you know, what would you say to her if this was the last thing you were ever going to say to her? And those were some tearful moments to be able to talk to each other.
One thing that I learned from last year's retreat that has helped us with our relationship is looking for ways to serve your spouse. That was something that President Corbridge asked us to do, to find, I believe it was one thing each day for a certain number of days that we could do for our spouse, and that really helped me at least look for ways that I could serve Mindy that I wouldn't have otherwise found.
And something that I picked up from the activity at the retreat was communication. It was just so nice to sit and not, you know, have someone toddle over and ask for mommy or daddy, and, you know, not be so tired from the day that it's, you know, you're just so shot and I just don't want to talk, I'm so tired. But we had that chance just to communicate, and it helped me remember how important it is and how refreshing it is to open up that way and take stock of our relationship, of our lives.
It's a great experience. I've never been in a stake that does this before, that has an activity where the focus is on marriage, and that they have activities that support that, and it's a great thing. If you're thinking about going but not sure that you want to, or you think, oh, this is just for people whose marriage is in trouble, that's not true. Our good friends, lots of good friends went, and their marriages are not in trouble. It's a great activity, so if you're thinking of going, you totally should.
Yeah. And I love how the stake focuses on, like, you know, the heart of a family, the husband and wife. It's, you know, it starts that way, and cars need to tune up, you know, even if they're running just great. So a marriage would need the same thing.
I enjoy the nature. I love being out in nature. I think you can get so much from being outside. You can feel the spirit easier. It's so peaceful up there. I think it's a nice way to get away. And we could camp out this time probably, pull that one off.
What we liked about it was there was a lot of variations in the food that was there.
I always love food. Food's never a problem for me.
Chocolate fountains are a good thing. They are. Did you ever see the movie Ocean's 11? Brad Pitt was always eating something. Yep. And one scene he was eating nachos. Ever since then, I've loved nachos. The only thing missing was nachos. If we could have nachos this year, I think it would be an even better.
It would be John's perfect world.
Absolutely.
If nachos were there. So somebody please bring them.
The power of the motion picture.
Well, the first year that we went on this retreat, Carol and I took a little pup tent, and it was little. And we camped out overnight, and oh, it was a blast. And it was very cozy, but in the morning, I'm turning over in my sleeping bag, and my sleeping bag is following me. And I'm looking down at my sleeping bag, and I am stuck. I am glued to my sleeping bag. And I turned to Carolyn and I said, Carolyn, were you chewing gum last night? And she says, yes. I said, well, what did you do with it? I spit it out. I'm like, you spit it out in my sleeping bag.
No, I put it in the garbage sack above our heads.
It ended up in my sleeping bag.
He did. He had the gum in his garments. It was everywhere. I don't know how it got so bad, but I really did put it in the garbage.
Luckily, it didn't get in my hair.
It's a blast, even, you know, to camp out. We've gone from sleeping in a tent to the next year sleeping in the pavilion to last year we stayed at the Holiday Inn. But it is really fun to go up, and it is a great, great experience.
We will attend the retreat again, and only this time we're going to do the whole thing. You didn't know that. We're going to go do the whole thing.
Okay. I decided to attend the retreat because she made me.
I had never seen the new pavilion up there, and so it's like, how can you belong to the stake and not see that new pavilion?
You still haven't seen the new pavilion?
No, I did.
Oh, you did the last
Well,
time, that's right.
because
We went to the last year.
But that's not the reason why.
That's the reason why we went.
No,
was to
it's
see the
not.
new pavilion.
No, it's not.
It was. Well, considering that they base all of the talks on our relationship, on how not to do things.
Or the good, bad example. So.
Describe the retreat in 1 to 3 words.
Well, it was amazing. Inspirational, motivational. We feel a lot of gratitude because we know that hours and hours put into that. And I think it's really gratifying that you would do that for us as adults, because the youth, you know, are the focus, and they need to be. So it's really nice when we as adults get to.
Well, even at the very least, you're spending time together. So, I mean, even if you just look at it from that point of view, it's a good chance to spend some time together.
Right.
What's neat is to see the show that was called Fireproof.
I enjoyed that show too. In fact, after the retreat, we went home and looked it up on the internet and bought it because we liked that show so well.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have 2 left feet, but I actually picked up a little bit. Julia likes to dance a lot.
He's not such a dancer, but I love to dance, and so it was fun.
Yeah, we had a great time with the dance instruction. That was a really fun part of the evening. We had taken a dance class together at BYU and really kind of struggled through that, and it was just kind of fun to talk about and reminisce about our dance class that we had, you know, 10, 12 years prior to that. We did much better this time.
Much more mature in how we handle who leads and who doesn't in conflict, but it was nice. They did a great job with that big of a crowd. Last year, what I enjoyed the most was actually the speaker who talked about temple covenants, and I still remember it to this day, thinking about how we sacrifice the natural man on the altar and all the symbolism for the temple, and that pavilion of the temple was amazing.
Absolutely, we would attend again. We have it on our calendar to attend this fall, and hope that will become a tradition for us as long as the stake puts together the activity. Again, it's important to take time for your marriage and your relationship and be able to have an opportunity to express your love for your spouse, and that's a wonderful opportunity that we want to take advantage of and keep on attending.
We schedule our date nights for the year and put that in, and it was an already done deal to have that as part of our date.
Well, we have the chance actually to go to a number of different events where they're talking about couples and what couples can do to be better just with my work. Some of those things are more scholarly or academic. This really involves the spirit, and so when you hear instruction and they give you some counsel with spiritually minded things involved, it just I think it's more of a lasting help with our marriage rather than just something that, you know, here's a tidbit or here's a gem that you can, you know, try these 3 steps and you'll have a happy marriage kind of thing. It's there's always more, and the speakers are in tune. But I do remember walking away from each one with a couple of goals of things that I know that I need to do in our marriage.
Some of the instruction that I love is when the stake presidency shares personal things about their marriage or their life or things that have helped them. And I just can testify that they prepare, they pray about this, they want the marriages to work because Heavenly Father wants them to work, and so they can't help but get the inspiration on what they should say at this point in time to our stake members. We've loved going on the canoes. I think we even did a night with the moon out, the stars. It was really great, and we especially enjoyed the tower where you know, with the top of the zip line, and we could see everything out around us, and then we just had our own little quiet time. So that was great.
We love Aspen Lakes. There is so much to do up there, from all the Zions camp, girls camps, and the father and sons outings. You really get a taste of what's up there. So while we were up there, we camped the night, sat around the fire. There was the canoe and the zip line, and both Kelsey and I went down the zip line and loved that. Normally we're helping out with our little kids and other boys and girls going down the zip line, but we got to experience that ourselves, and it was a lot of fun.
I love the dancing. That's always my favorite. Ben and I, when we were dating, we went dancing a lot, so anytime we can go and dance is a good time.
Yeah, the country dancing and all the new dances that we learned while we were there from the Kings, Chris and Mackenzie King, they did a great job at instructing us. I don't know the names of all the dances they taught us, but they were a lot of fun, and then we got to all get out on the dance floor at the end and kind of do a move or two, and then sit down, have a drink, and have some goodies, and come back and dance some more.
The thing that I enjoyed about the morning breakfast and the evening brunch was I didn't have to cook it, and it was good food provided by somebody else. I think it's also just fun to be able to sit at a table with people that you're not familiar with and that you don't do a lot of things with, and get to know them a little bit more, and kind of see what makes them a couple and how they gel.
Yeah, food is always good. I always follow the food.
It was a date, and we're encouraged to continue to date as a couple, and it was a worthwhile date, not just go to dinner and go to a movie where you don't get to talk, but you get to talk about each other. Sometimes you go and you talk about kids, or you talk about, you know, what happened during the day, or what I need to be doing, or, you know, stresses in your life. And this time it was more to talk about us and what we can improve on.
And just have a few moments of retrospection as to what was meaningful to our spouse and what was some challenges that we might face in our marriage that we can work on together.
One of the things that I gained from President and Sister Rogers in hearing their experiences and the trials that they have been through is for me to realize in my own marriage that we don't have a perfect marriage. But
I thought we did.
But we have a fantastic marriage. We have a happy marriage. And it's these retreats that help to bring us closer and to work through these.
Absolutely.
So that we do have an awesome marriage. Sorry to burst your bubble there, dear.
Would I be incorrect in saying it was the food? Breakfast was delicious. Chocolate-covered things. Though I don't know, I think that the part I liked the best ended up being the walking through the temple that they'd set up. That was pretty neat.
And we went over to the obstacle course and played around there.
And I didn't fall in, and she didn't fall in, so that's positive. No wet.
It was fun to hang out with people in the stake and friends, and to just chat and be away from kids, and to just enjoy that like uninterrupted adult time. I would say a beautiful spiritual experience for sure.
Peaceful time away.
Definitely would go back.
On behalf of the Stake Presidency and the Stake Marriage and Family Relations Committee, we want to invite you to come join us at the annual marriage retreat that is going to be held at Aspen Lakes on September 21st and 22nd. We're very excited about this and excited about the opportunity that we will all have to come to this beautiful setting and to spend quality time together, to participate in lots of fun activities, to gain insights about how to strengthen our marriage, and to have some time to talk together as spouses about our marriage and about strengthening our marriages. All of our relationships with one another require an investment of time and effort. And the most important relationship of all is our relationship with our spouse. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to come and invest some time with your spouse in building your relationship together. If we fail to invest in relationships, especially in our marriages, the pressures of the world tend to pull us apart. Unless that trend is unchecked, we find ourselves feeling like we've fallen out of love. Well, why has that happened? It's happened simply because we didn't invest the time and effort to nurture that relationship. And so that's what this retreat is all about. So we invite you to come. This will be a fun time, a great opportunity to strengthen your relationships. And we look forward to seeing you at Aspen Lakes. Hope you can make it.